quick overview of the Digital Skills Management Maturity Assessment model from SkillsTX. The Digital Skills Management Maturity model, or DSMM, contains 5 different levels of maturity. Of course, it is possible to be at level 0 if you don't yet recognize the need for doing something about digital skills management for your organization. Once you realize that this is an important area, particularly given skill shortages and challenges of finding the right people with the right skills and competencies to achieve the objectives we need to achieve, you're at level 1. You recognize the need for it, you're starting the journey and discovering. Many organizations are at that stage. As you progress, moving through to level 2, knowing the skills that you have, so you know where you're starting from. Then at level 3, knowing the skills you have and the skills that you need. That allows you to move to level 4, where you can do the gap analysis between the skills that you need and the skills that you have, confirm your skill gaps and any risks around skills and competencies that you might have. At level 5, you're using that data in a more sophisticated way. You now know the gap, you know the challenges that you have and the risks, and you can use that data to be better at recruiting, developing, retaining, or indeed sourcing those skills and competencies from wherever you need to get them, whether that's internally or externally. The characteristics of being at level 1, you recognize that each individual within your organization needs to have an up-to-date and accurate skills profile, and that your job descriptions, your role profiles need to be accurate in reflecting the skills that you need now and into the future. So at level 1, you haven't got those things in place, but you recognize the need to do something. At level 2, you've answered that first "what skills do we have" question for the majority of your people, so that you have an accurate inventory of current skills. You know where you're starting from. In most organizations, that will consist of the individuals doing assessments against a recognized framework and creating skill profiles which include all of their skills. It's really important not to just assess against the current role or job, because people are much more than their current job or role. They have other skills based on the unique experience that they have from within their current role, or indeed previous roles and previous employers. So you want a complete picture of their skills. This is essential because skill requirements change on such a regular basis that you need to know not just what you're using today, but what you have available to use today and into the future. And it's really important for that inventory and that picture to be using a common language and set of definitions for skills and competencies in the digital and technology related specialisms. So using a recognized framework, Sophia, the skills framework for the information age, is the main reference framework used internationally in this space. At level 3, you've started to answer the "what skills do we need" question. You have job descriptions, role profiles that are defined using that same skills framework, so they're in that common language. Your recruitment processes can use those descriptions of the skills that you need and use assessments of candidates to match up the best candidates based on their skills and competencies. Projects and also your normal operational business as usual requirements need to be expressed, again using that same common language of Sophia. At level 4, the majority of the individuals in these types of roles can compare their skill profile with the requirements from jobs, roles, or it might be the requirements for a sprint or for a project. Any type of skill requirement, they're able to compare their skill profile against it, see the gaps that they have, see the targets that they need for their development planning. And that can help them with their current job, but also potential career paths. The management in the organization can pinpoint those risks, work out which ones are more critical than others, and use it as a way of prioritizing. There are several examples shown there. A lot of information and cybersecurity breaches and challenges come from not having the right people with the right skills at the right level in the right place. The same thing happens with failures in projects and programs, digital transformations, and all sorts of other change initiatives. At level 5, the individuals have not only seen the gaps, but they've turned those into development action plans, which address those identified skill gaps in a prioritized way so that they can target the most important gaps first, which are often against their current roles, but also they're able to see those career paths and they have an action plan that takes them further than their current role. Really important for retention and employee satisfaction. At level 5, you're extending that beyond your internal workers, and you can use exactly the same mechanisms for managing your contractors, contingent workers, even your service providers, and comparing suppliers with each other using things such as Sophia rate cards. You can evaluate the skills and competencies and whether they have the right ones to deliver the services that you need. Again, all using that common skills framework, Sophia. We've made it really easy for you to start the process. We have a free digital skills management maturity assessment, which will take you about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. When you complete it, you'll receive a report which shows you exactly where your organization is on this scale and talks about the benefits and the journey to get to whichever level you feel you need to get to next as an organization. The assessment also assesses your preferences on how to get there, whether you do it yourself, whether you have a little bit of support in doing that through tools or training or professional services support. And with that report in hand, you can decide how you want to move forward, whether that's doing it yourself or reaching out to us at SkillsTX or to one of our SkillsTX partners. To start the process, you can use the QR code that you see on the screen or go to the SkillsTX website, skillstx.com/DSMM.